Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Community First Credit Union, Winn-Dixie, Baptist Health, Bowden Eye and Associates, Brumos Automotive, and Coastal Spine and Pain Center.
Hello and welcome into Armada Kickoff. After a thrilling victory in stoppage time last Saturday, the Armada looked to repeat some magic at home on Saturday at Community First Park. We'll have the highlights from last week's late triumph, and we'll hear from head coach Guillermo Hoyos, get his thoughts on the momentum generated by the win.
This week's match is also Military Appreciation Night, and we'll see how the Armada and the U.S. Army soccer team helped to get the festivities started earlier this week. We'll also explore the Twitterverse to see what Armada players and supporters are saying on social media. And of course, we have Bob's Boot Room and the Analyst Roundtable, but we start with last Saturday's exciting result. You can play what if with the Armada very easily. If they didn't give up a second goal in Fort Lauderdale, what if they held on to the lead in Tampa? The Armada could be undefeated, but what if doesn't change the table? And entering last week's match against the defending champion San Antonio Scorpions, the Armada found themselves in 9th place in the NASL table. But a home victory could go a long way to changing that. It was a poignant start to things at Community First Park. Max and Morgan Dillard, the brothers of Holden Dillard, raising a flag. Holden was a junior soccer prospect in Jacksonville, now battling cancer. Team wearing Holden Strong bands. You see one there on Pascal Million's ankle. Once again, the Armada score quickly. 4th minute, Keita tackling back. The ball finds Marcos Flores, who sends it beautifully on to Million, who scores the goal, his first as a member of the Armada, and the Haitian national knows how to celebrate. Take another look. Great find here by Flores, and Million does the rest to give the Armada the 1-0 lead. And, of course, the flip. He'd been waiting a long time for that one. 9th minute now. San Antonio with a quick equalizer. The ball will come to Omar Cummings, who scores his 3rd goal of the year. That's the best in the league. And we're level at 1. It would remain that way through halftime and into the second half. 82nd minute. Watch this save by Miguel Gallardo. Oh, this was huge. Absolutely kept the match level. Terrific save there. What a job by Gallardo. After the game, head coach Guillermo Hoyos admitted sometimes they think more about the attack than defense, but Gallardo turning in a terrific performance. 83rd minute, Akil Barrett is subbed in. This was a big decision. It's tied into stoppage time. Watch Barrett in the lower left hand of your screen. Look how far he goes. Goes all the way, takes the ball away, and then turns on the Jets. And watch this move to get past a San Antonio defender. Then just a wonderful little through ball for Keita, and there it is. Keita scoring in the 92nd minute in stoppage time. Keep an eye on what Barrett did there. Just remarkable, and the fans are loving it. Take another look here, and you can see the Armada speed evident. Is both Barrett and Keita just running right past San Antonio late in the contest. But it wasn't over yet. You see another angle here. What a job by Keita. You can see the finesse with that ball. Now, the Armada up 2-1, 96th minute. Another opportunity and a terrific save by Gallardo as well as he comes up big. The save over the top sets up a corner for San Antonio. And this would be the last chance for the defending champs. Gallardo holds on to it, and the Armada win it in front of a near-capacity crowd. 2-1 the final.
I mean, I'm feeling excited. I'm glad that I get to help the team. So I'm definitely glad. This is my first assist, professional assist, so this is very exciting for me.
It means so much to me, and especially it's my birthday. So sadly, I scored it for my mom and my dad who passed away. You know, I know they watch me upstairs. This is for them, you know. So this is for the bottom of my heart.
I always say I'm a commando, so my problem is like to give everything until the last minute. So when I'm playing a football game, I have belief like if the game, not yet end, I know that I can do anything, you know. So this is what happened. I keep pushing, keep giving everything, you know. Always when you work hard, you always pay. This is what happened, you know. So I'm very excited.
All right, look at the stats here. Armada with more shots on goal, and more fouls. Million scoring in the 4th minute. Keita, who earned NASL Player of the Week honors with his game-winning goal, also on the Team of the Week. He was joined there by Marcos Flores. Yellow cards, well, this was a little bit of a physical, chippy contest. Trejo, Ortiz, Johnson, and Keita all got booked in the course of this one.
The most recent man of the match went to Haitian-born forward Pascal Million. Million was one of the few players who played the full 90 minutes against the Scorpions. He had several great runs and some close calls, including this header. Gosh, that just barely got out, but it was in the first few minutes of the match that Million found the back of the net after he passed from Marcos Flores to put the Armada on the scoreboard.
Millian celebrated his first goal for the Armada with some flips and tricks. Here are some upcoming Armada matches you don't want to miss. Tomorrow, the Armada play against Indy 11 for a day in honor of all servicemen and women. They are away on May 16th and 23rd with matches in Atlanta and Minnesota. And the boys in blue return to Community First Park on May 30th to take on the Carolina Railhawks. The spring season then ends on June 13th with a match in New York against the Cosmos. And Jacksonville has a huge military presence, and the Armada is theming this weekend's match around appreciating all those active and retired servicemen and women. There will be a commemorative scarf that can be purchased. A portion of each sale goes to military charities. All around, during and after the match will be in celebration of all servicemen and women. And of course, before the match, dollar Coors Light beers from 4 to 6 at the Match Day Experience.
Wednesday was probably one of the more unusual scrimmages the Armada have played so far. They took on the All-Star U.S. Army soccer team. It was just as memorable for the coaches and players as it was for the Armada.
The Armada kicked off Military Appreciation Week with a friendly scrimmage against the All-Star U.S. Army soccer team, and some Armada players were rather impressed with their opponents.
I had a lot of fun. It was a bunch of big guys. Obviously, we didn't expect any little guys to be in the Army, but it was great to play against somebody that serves our country as well as protects our country.
I ran into a couple of guys. I was like, okay, yeah, they were pretty strong. They were pretty fast too. So it was just like I said, it was just like I'm really happy to come play and I'm really happy to have fun with them. And they were really good guys, and I got a chance to talk to a couple of the guys. So it was really nice to know them.
The day ended with team bonding and some laughs, and captain of the Florida National Guard and head coach Roy Locklear says that's exactly what his guys needed.
Very appreciative. I will say that 99% of this team are guys that are deployed at least once or twice, and we always appreciate the support that we get. When people just a simple thank you goes a long way for us, and we're looking forward to the game this weekend. We were at the game this past Saturday night, and we're looking forward to coming out again on Saturday.
Head coach Guillermo Hoyos could have taken the safe route on Saturday. Late in the second half, it appeared clear that San Antonio was content to play for a draw. That's when Hoyos made the tactical decision that may have changed the match and the spring season for the Armada. And as Cole found out, the head coach sees the win as a catalyst for the spring.
Creo que fue algo muy importante la forma en la que se ganó, porque se buscó, se trató desde el primer minuto ganarlo el partido y ganarlo en los últimos minutos también es muy importante para el grupo, para toda la gente que vino al estadio, y realmente muy contento por esa parte.
And it's not just that the Armada won, but how they won that could do wonders in the sprint for the spring championship.
Los últimos 15 minutos fueron muy intensos nuestros, y el cambio en este caso de aquí era para tratar de darle mayor velocidad y mayor habilidad, y sucedieron cosas que realmente el equipo lo buscó desde el primer minuto, es decir, ganar el partido al último.
That move to substitute Akil Barrett was a stroke of genius, as it turned out. It electrified the crowd and led to the game-winning goal. The team was able to feed off the emotion of the crowd, something Hoyos says he's counting on at each home match.
Porque realmente el ambiente de fútbol fue muy lindo, muy competitivo, se vivió muy intenso, la gente estaba muy emocionada, estaba muy contenta, y eso hace que realmente sea el partido mucho más atractivo, ¿no? más competitivo. Entonces hace que realmente estemos todos muy contentos y agradeciendo a la gente el apoyo, que es muy importante, porque es la primera vez que hay fútbol en Jacksonville y realmente es algo muy confortable que la gente apoye todo esto.
And in case you all missed it, the Kraken officially has a name.
Oh yeah.
Drum roll, please. Squid Vicious. The name was released during last week's match against the San Antonio Scorpions.
Now here's a great way to get your Armada fix, the Kraken Pack. Choose one of 2 packs, 8 matches, just $88. Get it? 8 legs, Kraken. Both packs include matches against the New York Cosmos and the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, plus 6 other NASL fixtures. Call 844-2-ARMADA or purchase online at armadafc.com. Straight ahead, highlights from around the NASL and a look at the standings. The Armada roaring up the charts.
And Bob Veal joins us for Bob's Boot Room. Stick around. More Armada Kickoff is straight ahead.
It is not too late to get your Armada season tickets. They'll prorate them for the rest of the season. Get an interest-free monthly payment plan, invitation to special season ticket owner-only events, and the best price available. Tickets from as low as just $10 per match. Call 844-2-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com. About half the teams are now halfway through the NASL spring season. This officially marks the midway point of the spring season, 6 weeks in out of 11 weeks of play, and we're starting to see the personalities of the teams start to become apparent. Let's check out the last weekend's highlights here as we go around the NASL. Let's start with the action on Sunday in Canada. FC Edmonton hosting Minnesota United. Minnesota's Miguel Ibarra, who's on the U.S. national team, scores here, able to slot one home, his first goal of the season. Edmonton would draw with Minnesota 2-2. Atlanta at Fort Lauderdale. Silverbacks defense has allowed only 3 goals all season, and defense was the order of the day in this one. Very nearly a goal there, but top to bottom, this was a performance turned in by the defense. Stuart Cias, a terrific save there. 0-0 for the Strikers and Silverbacks. New York Cosmos have also been terrific on defense so far this year. Playing in Brooklyn for the first time, hosting the Ottawa Fury. Cosmos atop the NASL table. Lucky Kosana, the Zimbabwe native, his first goal of the year. Reigning NASL Player of the Month. Cosmos goalkeeper Jimmy Maurer continues his strong play as the Cosmos win it 1-0. Carolina Railhawks hosting Tampa Bay Rowdies. Nacho Novo with the goal, his third of the season. That's tied for the tops in the league. 19th minute now, Rowdies are on the counter. Georgi Ristov with a cross to Martin Nunez to tie the game at 1 in stoppage time. Now, after the celebration, a chance for Carolina, or rather for Tampa Bay. They had a shot here. Wells Thompson the chance to win it, but it's cleared off the line, and the Railhawks avoid the home defeat. This one ends in a 1-1 draw. So here's the league table after last weekend's action. New York Cosmos still atop with 11 points. They have not lost a match yet. They're not the only side. You see Atlanta also has not lost, but only 1 victory for the Silverbacks so far this year. There's the Armada. After the victory over the weekend, 6 points. So what that means is a win on Saturday, the Armada would have 9 points. That could be as high as second in the table, depending on what happens the rest of the way. As for the rest of the standings, Indy 11 coming in, level with the Armada with 6 points. They've done it in a different way, 3 draws and just 1 victory. And at the bottom of the table, the San Antonio Scorpions, the defending champions, after the loss to the Armada, still hanging on just 1 point. Now let's head to Bob's Boot Room, presented by Nike. Here are Bob Veal and Krissty Andaur.
Thank you, Cole. Bob, you mentioned earlier this week how the Armada forwards actually played a lot in the defense and setting up goals and doing all that stuff. Why don't you take us through that?
Yeah, the defensive role they played was the early tackles in their 1/3. So instead of just playing a ball and staying around, they tackled back early in the defense. Now let's see the first clip of this, where we see there, Keita tackles, and Jamal now chases the ball and tackles again. We win a corner. That's putting their defense under pressure. And here's another one. This is a tackle there, and another through ball from Flores, and that's the first goal. So we had 2 tackles there. Through ball from Flores made the first goal. Again, we're putting them under pressure. Yep, we put them under so much pressure. And this is a tackle by Million. There it goes. And again, they're trying to play out of defense, San Antonio, and they win a corner. The Armada wins a corner. They're back in the defensive mode. And I want to stop it there, because you'll see just off picture in a minute, everybody, one player, and I think it's Fabricio, is at the back there in the circle, is in their half. And this is at 57 minutes. So we're all in their half. We're pressing to get that winning goal. Let's go to the last one. And this was a quick back from the defense, playing out of defense. Look at the patience here. Jamal, Keita across, and across to Jamal. And he takes this great shot,
which
is
close.
Just over the top. And that is playing the ball from the back, taking your time, having the patience to move forward.
Thank you so much,
That's
Bob.
what won us the game, I think.
And so hopefully we see that against the Indy 11.
I think we certainly will see it,
Right.
yes.
Thank you so much. The Armada look to gain 3 more points again this Saturday against Indy 11. Cole?
All right, thanks, guys. Straight ahead, we'll ask our analysts if the Armada can keep it going this week. Stick around. Armada Kickoff rolls on.
The Armada's social reward program is a great way to stay connected with the team via social media. Just go online at armadasocialrewards.com, create an account, and start earning free gifts like jerseys, scarves, and even tickets to future matches. Each week, we pick a random winner, and congratulations to Julie Lewis. You've won 2 tickets to the Armada match against the Carolina Railhawks. And now let's head over to the Roundtable, presented by Subway. Cole?
Players that you can switch around, and we're going to be very strong.
We saw a lot of different players, a lot of different lineups.
All right, thank you, Krissty. Analyst Roundtable brought to you by Subway, joined by David Hayes and Andy Kidd. All right, what do you make of the atmosphere, Community First Park? We've seen 2 home matches, one at Everbank, one at Community First Park. What do you think, Andy?
I thought it was awesome. As a player, there's nothing more you can ask for. And you saw how the game ended. I mean, at the end of the game, when your legs are getting heavy, those fans are the ones that can lift you up and give you an extra couple of minutes of energy. So I really felt like the fans carried us over the top there.
Yeah, the marketing department in the Armada is doing a fantastic job. I mean, I work at Key Auto, and everybody's coming in to get those Armada magnets. Yeah. I mean, they're coming in by the dozens. The game was great. The atmosphere was great. Like Andy said, it lifts the team up when they're getting tired, and it showed by the late goal.
Interesting move tactically to put Akil Barrett in at a midfield spot in the 82nd minute. Here was a guy who's a go-forward player. He's got great speed. He's played in midfield in college, but he's been playing up front with the Armada. It was a little bit of a roll of the dice, I think, for Guillermo Hoyos.
It was, but I mean, we're at home. You know, they were content with tying. We want to go for the win. And coaches during the week, they see who is on their front foot, who's going, who has an act for the goal. And it looked like he did, and it showed. I think he had a brilliant, 8-10 minutes, however long he was in.
Yeah, and you saw Hoyos when we were down in South Florida make a defensive substitution. And on the road, that's probably what you do. You try and make sure you shore up a win or shore up a tie that way and hold on to it. At home, you can gamble a little bit more, and that's what he did here. He put in an attacking player, pulled out a defensive-minded player, and it paid off big.
Well, one of the areas the Armada is going to have to deal with is they're going to be without Jaime Castrion for at least another week, maybe a couple of weeks with a foot injury. How's this going to impact things, Andy?
Well, I feel like we've got enough depth. You saw Lucas Rodriguez jump in there, and we were still creating chances, and we were pretty sound defensively. And now if we had somebody else go down now, we might be in a little bit of trouble in the midfield. Or if one of these guys gets another yellow card or another 2 yellow cards and has to sit out, now we could be in a little trouble as far as depth goes. But I think we're okay right now, but we'd like to get him back sooner than later.
Yeah, I think Andy said it right. I mean, he breaks up plays, he distributes well. He's a good player for us, but I think we're good. I think we have a lot of depth.
What about this week? Could be the most important match of the spring, and it may make a big difference in terms of the entire year when you think about the way that the NASL schedule lays out.
Well, again, we're at home, so we have to take our points. It's vitally important that we take every point on the road and at home. And, beating San Antonio and now going to Indy, I mean, it's another one. We're both 6 points, so I think if we can springboard ahead, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, with a 10-game season, I mean, we could have this conversation every week that every game is the most important game of the season. Last week, we had to get 3 points. That was the most important game of the season. This week, this is the most important game of the season because it gave you 9 points with a game in hand and playing New York at the end of the year. That could really work out well for us.
Andy Kidd, David Hayes, thanks so much.
Thank you.
When we come back, proof positive that Krissty is making friends and influencing people at the Armada matches. Stick around. You won't want to miss this. Armada Kickoff continues straight ahead. Those single match tickets still available. Saturday is expected to be close to, if not a sellout by match day. So best advice here, get your tickets before you head to Community First Park. You see the schedule for the remaining home matches in the spring season. You can call 844-2-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com. Military Appreciation Night this Saturday, and then Youth Soccer Night next Saturday home match on May the 30th against the Carolina Railhawks. In this first year of the Armada, fans are getting to know the players and the coaches and some of the broadcasters. Section 904 seems to have taken a liking to one Miss Andaur. Take a look at this cell phone video from the match on Saturday.
Hey, be my girl.
I don't know how you say no to a guy in a squid mask singing off key to you. What do you have to say about that, young lady?
I would have to say that I am honored that Section 904 has a song for me, and I just think you're jealous.
Maybe just a little bit. just a little bit.
Well, Cole, Section 904 is big on social media as well as the Armada players, and it's really a great way to stay connected with them. And let's take a look. Armada Jag tweeted out a photo thanking the Armada and Marcos Flores for going out to Westside Soccer Club this past week. Bria also tweeted out her excitement, actually running around the house, after having her Armada jersey signed. And finally, Pascal Million shared probably one of my favorite photos of that night against the Scorpions, the Armada players bowing down to Section 904.
That was great. Our coverage of the Armada against Indy 11 begins Saturday at 7 o'clock, live from Community First Park. Kickoff at 7:30. Remember, you get the latest on the Armada online at armadafc.com and on radio, the Armada Soccer Show Fridays at 3 on Sports Radio 930. You can also hear the Armada Monday podcast every Monday with Bob and me on armadafc.com.
We've seen some great atmosphere at Community First Park, but we leave you with sight and sounds of match day. Thanks for joining us. I'm Krissty Andaur.
And I'm Cole Pemper. We'll see you next time.